Okay.
Good evening, and very warm welcome to all the members and esteemed participants for joining us today through this live webcast. On behalf of the Beneficiary Schemes Directorate of ICI, it gives us immense pleasure to welcome you to this insightful session on Beyond Billable Hours, creating space for life beyond work. In today's fast-paced professional environment, chartered accountants are often balancing multiple responsibilities, demanding deadlines, client expectations, and continuous professional commitments. While professional excellence remains our hallmark, it is equally important to focus on personal well-being, mental wellness, meaningful relationships, and creating a sustainable work-life balance. This session is a timely reminder that true success is not measured only by billable hours, completed assignments, or professional milestones, but also by the quality of life we lead, the time we invest in ourselves, and the balance we create between our professional and personal aspirations. We are delighted to extend a special welcome to our distinguished speaker, Sri Rahul Rungta sir, whose insights and experiences have inspired countless professionals. We are privileged to have him with us today to share practical perspectives, actionable strategies, and valuable lessons on achieving balance, managing priorities, and creating space for a fulfilling life beyond work. With these words, I welcome our esteemed speaker and all the participants to this enriching session. I wish you all a highly engaging and insightful learning experience. Thank you, and over to Sri Rahul Rungta sir.
Good evening, everyone. Just a small correction to the respected moderator, ma'am. This is CA Bhavesh Mahajan, the speaker for the day. Okay, as very well said by the moderator, ma'am, that this initiative taken by the Directorate, uh, Beneficiary Scheme Directorate of the ICI is very much important in the current scenario wherein we are looking at uh, so much of pressure, so much of rat race going on everywhere, especially in our profession also. So it's a high time that we should start looking at the quality aspect of our life rather than quantity aspect. This direct beneficiary director scheme, directorate of the institute, headed by respected convener C.A. Durgesh ji and deputy convener C.A. Rajendra ji, have come up with a idea of work-life balance series that we are going through over the last couple of months or so. With this initiative, the institute is trying to benefit the members not only at the scheme benefits like economic benefits, but other than that also the even non-economic benefits that each member requires at present. Reason being ki we all are stuck up in deadlines and various things in which we fail to understand or fail or forget about certain important things that is very much important when we carry on our profession and live and lead our professional development. So this is again a part of professional development only, that we have to understand how not only the wealth in our accounts or wealth creation through tangible wealth creation, it's also very much important that we create intangible wealth also, which cannot be seen but is for the benefit of us and also for those whom we are working. Always remember one thing, that we earn not for ourselves, but for our family, for our near dears, and all those whom we love. But there is no fun in having that wealth or that earning if we are not able to enjoy it with our families and with those for whom we are working? So let's start today's deliberation on the given topic, beyond billable hours. What we have to see is ki how the hours or the time that we spend in billing those hours, how that can be betterly managed so that we are not only affected by we can enjoy those hours which we have billed it. Let me share the okay. So beyond billable hours, creating space for life beyond work. Creating space for life beyond work. We This is a basically a paradox that we have to create a space for life beyond work. It's reason that because building a successful practice should not come at the cost of building a meaningful life. If in the rush or the in the line of building a successful practice, we miss out on certain things which a meaningful life means. Because we also have to understand what is meant by meaningful life. If we miss out at if the successful practices at the cost of that meaningful life, then at the end of that our career or at the end of our lifespan, when we sit and look back, we will not be having much things to remember or look back or cherish, because we wasted our time in running behind tangible things rather than creating an intangible memories. So the meaningful life is the one wherein a person at the fag end of his life can sit and see what he has created, not only in a tangible form, but also in an intangible form, but all the family, the friends, the memories that we cherish, because at the end, that will be the only thing we will be looking for or we will be happy with. So just take one scenario that a CA or any one of us leaves the office at 11 p.m. after completing statutory audits. And this is the most common thing, especially in the rush days when we are doing tax audits or other deadlines, and the normal office hours extend to the late nights, burning midnight oils. The family has already had dinner, child is asleep, a medical checkup has been postponed again. Yet the professionals still feel guilty for not doing enough. Means even after spending whole day and half of the night in the office and doing hard work, so-called hard work in the office, when he comes back to the to his residence or home or to his family, he finds that there is no one to welcome him, or even if possible, then maybe his spouse, whosoever is duty bound to do it, he or she is there, but then that's only as a responsibility or a duty, but not as a welcome gesture. So the professional is not, even after spending so much of time doing so much of hard work, is still feeling guilty that he is not able to deliver what he is expected to or what he thinks to deliver. Now just pause for a moment and honestly think about this thing. Is hard work the problem? Or is dedication being misdirected into endless availability? Please try to understand this statement. Is dedication being misdirected into endless availability? That means I consider myself dedicated to the profession if only and only if I will be endlessly available. But is this so? Second, where are the boundaries? Have we ever drawn a clear line between professional commitment and personal sacrifices? Are we mature enough to do so? Or are we doing it, especially by uh, mixing the personal time and the professional time at wrong times? Please try to understand availability is not equal to value. Have we confused these reachable at all? Hours with actually being indispensable. No sky will fall if I will not be available 24 by 7 because it's not my job. It's not my requirement to be available 24 by 7 to my client. How much, it doesn't matter how much they pay or they don't pay, but still, I have to draw the line between my professional and personal life. So today's discussion is not about working less. Please try to understand, none of these sessions that are being conducted for work-life balance is there to tell you or guide you or make you believe that we are talking about working less. Working has to be there, which is required. It is about working better, living better, and redefining what professional success truly means. Somewhere down the line, we have started or we have been made to believe that a professional, successful professional life is the one where we are every time available to our client, where we are always being overburdened or being surrounded by the work, or where we are always busy or look busy so that the impression goes that we have a lot of work to do. But no, it's only the perception that has been made for the successful professionals. But the success means something else. And for the next almost 1.5 hours or so, we will be looking at what actually is the success beyond these billable hours. Productivity is not equal to presence. This is the dangerous myth. We CA community operate under an unspoken but powerful belief that hours work is to value created. The most maximum hours that we work, we think we create more of the value. This equation feels intuitive, it feels fair, and it's almost entirely wrong. Please don't it. It feels fair, but it's almost entirely wrong. Hours that we spend does not always mean that many value we are creating. The harsh reality is being physically present for long hours does not guarantee quality thinking, sharp judgment, or meaningful outcome. We at present are at the verge of the situation of our professional life where we don't need to spend endless hours for doing clerical work or doing simple work, but it's our experience, our acumen, our development over all these years made by the foundation of our hard articleship that we don't need to spend so much hour. We need to work smart. Hard work is not equal to smart work. The reality is that the longer hours we work for, it leads to brain fatigue. Physically, may or may not be, but mentally, our brain or our body feels weak, tired. Attention wanders and errors creep in unnoticed. You must have seen that even during your study time or during the preparation for the CA course, at that time also, if you sit for a very long time, only studying, you feel more depleted mentally rather than physically. And the longer you sit, the more and more your concentration and your grasping power reduces. And that is scientifically proved. There is it's not my version, or it is not out of nowhere, but this is very much scientifically proved that the concentration span of any one single person cannot go beyond 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Even when we are attending some seminars or some talks or some classrooms, have we ever wondered why there was a shift or a system of periods in the classroom? Why not a single subject is being taught the whole day in a class, covering 7 days, 6 days school, six subjects? The reason that after every 45 minutes or so, you require a break, a monotony, break the monotony to concentrate on another thing, so that you don't get bored or you don't get overworked with a particular subject. And that is the reason why long hour presence in a work will deplete your mental health, will deplete your concentration, will deplete your productivity, and at a very dangerous level. Outcomes matter more than occupancy. What's required is in how, what quality outcome that you get, even if you work for a less time. With the coming of AI in our professional practices, with the adaptation of AI in our professional practices, we are being able to save a lot of quality time to concentrate on other things rather than spending more on this. But still, AI uses is making our work simpler or more efficient. But again, it does not mean that we start working for a longer hour even by using AI. A 2 hour session of deep focused work can outperform an 8 hour day of distracted business. Just imagine one thing, that one day you are sitting in an office, you come to the office early in the morning or at 10 or whatever the timing that is your office time. And after reaching your office, you have a certain plans in your mind in the morning that I will be completing these many things in today's schedule. But whenever you start performing any single work, some distraction comes, one thing or the other. So even to perform a single work out of 4 that you have decided for the day, you took longer time than expected, due to which the other 3 works got postponed. Now, where is the value created? You worked for the same number of hours in which you were expected to do 4 type of job or 4 type of assignments, but you ended up doing 1 or 2 only because of lot many distraction in between. So where is the output? Where is the productivity? Where is the value created for the same time? So that means it doesn't matter how many hours you work. What matters more is the time that you spend in doing a particular work in a most concentrated manner. So even if you spend less time on a particular work, but your outcome is the same and rather more quality wise, more better. So what will happen is it will create more value. It will give you more satisfaction that you were able to complete all your work and still save a lot of time for your own doing other things or planning or other things. So the goal is not more time at the desk, it is more impact per hour. Do we understand one thing? Impact per hour. How much hours you spend on your table or a desk does not determine your hard work or a quality or a professional success. But what determines your this thing is how much impact in that 1 hour you can make. This is a professional reality check. The CA profession's billable hour culture. Our whole of the profession is run through this culture on billable hour. In the CA profession, a troubling dynamic has taken root over decades. Over the period of time this has happened, long hours quietly became a badge of honor, a signal of dedication and seriousness. We have misunderstood the definition of dedication and seriousness and has correlated that dedication and seriousness with our hours for which we do the billing. Because our profession, the basic billing system is on hourly basis. So the more hours we bill, we think the more it will generate the revenue and more satisfaction or professional success we will get from it. But no, even though it will create more revenue because of more billable hour, but in a very small period of time. Over the period of time, this will start becoming your drawback. This will start becoming your roadblock in a further success. Reason being, your outcome will still be the same by working so much of time or so many hours and billing it to the client, but the client will not be getting any additional benefit or any incremental benefit from your billable hours. And the moment the client will understand this thing, and which it will, he will definitely understand over the period of time that the billing that you are doing to him for your billable hours is not worth what he is getting. Sacrifice as status. Professionals begin competing not on the quality of their output, but on the magnitude of the sacrifice. We feel elated or we feel proud when we say that we made a sacrifice of a personal time in order to do a professional work. I worked through Diwali, become a point of pride. Means we very proudly say this thing in our social culture that when everyone was celebrating, we were working. In order to portray that we are very hardworking. In order to portray that how professional we are. But is it so? Has this pseudo status of sacrificing own time to prove oneself is correct? No. Have you ever thought that what this sacrifice means? It can give a moment of joy or pride to us to make our point or prove ourselves a little more professional in front of others. But have you ever wondered the cost of that sacrifice in the longer run? You might be praised by your peers or your other social connections for this sacrifice, but only for a moment. You will realize that slowly and slowly, even those social connections, your family and this, because of your this sacrifice, will start getting away from you. We have made business as identity. Being perpetually busy means every time busy becomes a core part of professional identity. A calendar with free slots feel uncomfortable, almost irresponsible. Suppose if we also sometimes see is ki we are not having any work today or we don't have any schedule for the today, we start feeling anxiety. We start doubting our own capabilities. We start doubting our success. We start doubting our future plans because today we don't have that much of busy hours. So just single day of not having busy hours will make you doubt your own capabilities and your own professional success. This is the psyche we are moving in. And this psyche is very much dangerous. It's slowly and slowly making us a machine rather than a human being. It's a rat race, mad rush. We are rushing, just doing big, working, without thinking that working long hours or making ourselves busy perpetually is going to hamper our life after work. As a human being, there is always a limit to our working. In the older days, when there used to be a Varna system, so there used to be what they used to do is means early age was Balkal, that is student life. Then there was uh, working time, family life, and then there was Vam, means retiring. The reason for that system was that there the retirement was used to be a time when a person slowly and slowly start deteriorating or his capacity to work or thinking start reducing. But at that time, we require a peace of mind, someone to care, someone to spend time with, someone to love, someone to go with on a tour or a trip. But what happened is over these period of time, when we were looking busy or when we were making our identity as busyness, at that time we missed out those someones. We missed out on certain things which we want to enjoy after retirement, but for that we have to work during the time of our working itself, that is now. We start making holiday as a guilt. We many CAs have proudly stated that I haven't taken a proper holiday in years. They think they boast about this thing, but this is not a boast. It is a warning sign. You know, the employees who don't take even a single leave during the year, we sometimes award them or give them appreciation that such a such person was has not taken a single leave during the year. But have we ever thought that how many or what output he or she is giving by not taking the leave? Maybe if he or she has taken a minimum required number of leaves during the year that we call CL or casual or something like that, he must have performed in a much better way. He must have been a different personality. He must be something have given an output even more than what is at present he is giving. Reason being, by not taking a leave or not taking a holiday, he has become monotonous and been working in a monotonous way only without any new outcome, without any newness, or without any additional benefit providing against his salary. Same thing goes with us. By missing holidays or by not going on a holiday, holidays does not mean going out of the country or out of the even or for a 1 month or something like that. Even a single weekend trip can give you that much energy which you can't even understand. Nowadays, we are having at present, this is the this part time of the year is that when there is actually the holidays going on in the schools, in ports, and otherwise. But if we miss out on this time, if we miss out on these things, because our children, our family have been waiting for this, when our school will get break or when there will be other breaks, we will be going on a family trip. We will be celebrating the time. We will be spending good quality time with each other. But if we miss out on these on a continuous basis, slowly and slowly, they will start going far from us. They will get involved or get engaged in their own daily life matters. And you will not even realize when the time flies and your children start avoiding you or taking you for granted or just make you a ATM. So our aim or our motive should not be to give only worldly benefit to our kids or children, but to give them a quality time, a good trip, or good availability of ourselves so that they can cherish us or they can be there when we want them. So, how many of us have borne out for inability to take holiday as a professional medal? Just think once. If we are doing it, then we need to mend it now. Because if we will continue doing it, we will definitely going to feel bad or feel guilty when there will not be any chance to cure it. There are hidden costs when overpresence becomes a liability. Our continuous overpresence will become a liability, not an asset. We, as a chartered accountant, we understand assets and liabilities. And whenever there is a liability driven balance sheet, it will always be considered as the weak balance sheet and will not be liked or loved by any of one, even who are going to invest in those balance sheets. So the scenario of decision fatigue, the science of decision fatigue, what it says, the human brain is not designed for sustained high stakes decision making over 12 to 16 hour stretches. It's a human brain capacity. We sometimes say that we don't utilize the human brain to its own capability, right? But overutilization on a continuous basis without proper feeding is not going to sustain. The human brain, even though is underutilized, but still, even for its maximum utilization, it requires a purposeful and a continuous and a quality uses, not irrational uses. What it leads to, the continuous uses for 12 to 16 hours leads to accuracy declines, small errors in audit documentation begin to surface. That's you all must have experienced this thing, that during rush hours or during those busy schedules of tax audit and all those, when we are working day in day out to meet the deadlines, at that time initially the quality of work is different, and as pressure start building, the start making silly mistakes, we start making small errors which can lead to a fatal uh, situation at later stage. But these things start coming, that means the accuracy start declining even though we are working very hard in terms of hours, but our outcome or our productivity is declining day by day. Law of diminishing marginal utility, economics law that we have studied long way back. Judgment deterioration. Our tax planning advice become risk averse and formulaic because we are not able to think of a clear mind. Our mind is filled with so many things. Our brain is filled up with so many things that even a simplest of the judgment seems burden to us. We start feeling pressure of those judgments, which if with clear mind or without any pressure or with a relaxed mind, we would have taken in a very easy manner. But what happens is, because of the fatigue or a mental fatigue or a decision fatigue, it has stopped. Our mind has stopped coming out with out of box ideas or anything, something special or with. So we are also making the same sort of stereotype judgments, which is not going to give any benefit to the clients. So actually, as I said earlier, when we are billing the client, what we are billing is not what he wants from us as a professional, but what anyone can do, which we are billing for. Errors increase, litigation preparation suffers from overlooked details, Simple error or overlooking in a very important litigation matter can lead to the unfavorable decision in your. And at that time, you will feel sorry in front of your client, and there will be a huge professional loss of comfort with the client. So, as the error increases, as the judgment deteriorates and accuracy declines, so what is happening is our over presence or long working hours is becoming our liability, not our asset. For a CA, the consequences of fatigue driven errors are not minor. As I said, a simple small error in audit documentation or an audit trail can lead to your major issues at later stage. A missed compliance deadline, a misstatement in a report, or flawed advice can damage client trust irreparably. It takes a lot of time to build a trust with the client. We had earlier also one webinar wherein we talked about how to make ourselves a trusted professional. So if we want to make ourselves a trusted professional, we mean to earn a trust of the client without any fatigue driven errors or any misstatement or a flawed advice. Burnout among finance professionals lead to a 40% increase in critical error. Studies consistently confirm this link between overwork and professional risk. So when we say that we work continuously or we work for long hours in a day, or we take very less breaks, or we work long durations, it is ultimately deteriorating our professional success. It is deteriorating our output. It is putting a hard punch on our professional acumen. And that is the biggest risk that we are exposed to when we do long billable hours. There is a Parkinson's law that work expand to fill the time available. If you think that to have a large hours to complete a work, that work will not end. It will keep on expanding because work knows that it has a lot of time to complete. So if you stretch the work, and in order to stretch the working hours, it will keep on expanding. It will not finish. Even if the time will come that at the end of the deadline, you will start feeling that still a lot of work is being done. Have you ever or still remember the time when we used to write papers, exams, 3 hours, 10 questions, and when we get the question paper, we read it and find it that it is very easy. We know all the answers. We know all the questions or have gone through the questions. And because of that, we start, okay, there are 180 minutes. We will keep on writing and doing it very slowly, or putting in even extra things where it is not even required. The time will come that after 2 hours, we will be still left with 5 more questions to complete. And during that last 1 hour, we will panic. Why this has happened? Because as per the Parkinson's law, we at the initial stage thought that 3 hours is very long time to complete these 10 questions. So what slowly and slowly happened that we started over answering. We started spending the time in over elaborating the things which were not even required in the answer. So it caused two harm. First, it is not going to fetch me an additional marks for the overwork that we have done in the answers. Second, it has ultimately led to the panic situation in the last 1 hour, which could have been utilize more beneficiary for answering those 5 questions, or those remaining 5 questions could have been answered in a much better way to get more marks. So this is not just a clever observation, but it is a trap that ensnares even the most disciplined professionals. So when we start thinking that, okay, we have this much of time to do a work and try to do it in that much of time, so it will start increasing, it will not decrease. So longer time to do a work will not only lead to the expansion of the work unnecessarily, but also the deterioration in the quality of the work being done. To just see a reality of a chartered accountant, a client memo that generally requires 2 focused hours will routinely consume 6 hours if the day permits it. Suppose client says that we have to reply tomorrow or give a reply to this memo tomorrow. So I now mentally knows that I have the complete day for this to give the reply. Now what will happen is psychologically I will start lingering on that reply. Okay, I have still 3/4 of the day left, half of the day left, evening time left. But what will happen is at the end of the day, the when we will come to this thing, we are still not made the reply and tomorrow we have to file it. So we will spend our night for preparing that thing. But what will happen? The work didn't demand those long hours, but because the open calendar absorbs time without resistance. Because we knew that we at present don't have anything else to do, or there is no other thing coming up. So we will start putting unnecessary time to that simple memo of 2 hours for which was required, and will waste the very important quality time that could have been used for some other research or some other study, or even not anything else but to relax ourselves. So the VIX or the imposed constraint is paradoxically time limits improve output quality. So when we know that if the client says ki, okay, we have to reply the same in the next 3 hours, automatically I will focus more and try to do the work in 2 hours because it actually required 2 hours. When a task has a hard deadline, the mind focuses. When time is unlimited, the mind wanders into perfectionism. We start doing it perfectionist. We start to aim for the perfectionist, which is not going to serve any purpose after all. Looking at the grammatical mistake, relining, redefining, realigning the things, looking it more beautiful, making it more beautiful in the words. It is not going to serve that purpose. Set the timer and commit to the constraint. It will definitely expand your or rise your efficiency. Because the work actually required 2 hours or whatever time it was required. But since we had a long time, we start spending unnecessary to this, or because it other at the end it's not going to all those redefining, realigning, everything is not going to pay us more. Still it will be the same, and neither the client is going to get any additional benefit, because client also knows that this much of reply or memo is the work of 2 hours. So by spending more of the time on that simple work, we are exposing ourselves as a non-professional rather than looking as a professional. Just think about this. How long did I work today? This is normally that we come to value our day schedule. What we earned or what we got it today. How long did I work today? The question rewards presence. It rewards endurance. It rewards sacrifice. it tells you nothing about whether the day actually mattered. At the answer of this question, we are not going to find any positive. Reason being, as we say that audit is like, if you want to define what is an audit is nothing but a postmortem of something which has already been done. When we used to study cost accounting, there was a concept of sunk cost. Sunk cost meant the cost that has already been incurred. Now what we are trying to do is to fit that incurred cost for the benefit or something to get it, okay, this has already been done. Now how to set it in the current scenario. But more than the sunk cost, what was important was opportunity cost. That what opportunity we lost or what opportunity cost we have to incur by not doing it or by not incurring it. So the new question that we all need to answer about is, what meaningful outcomes did I create today? It's not work today, but meaningful outcome out of that work that I got. It will give you more clarity. It will be more focused. It rewards decision about what is truly worth your finite time and experience. It is about how much new things or how much quality outcome you can get out of those same hours that you did in the old question. And you should ask this question every evening when you leave from the office or when you retire for the day. And this, you will start knowing that it will transform how a professional allocates their most valuable resources, attention. You will realize that where you wasted your attention, whereas you could have utilized that attention for the benefit of your own as well as. This is what we have to see. Then there is a productivity pyramid. And all professionals' activity is not same in that pyramid. And we need to design our day or a schedule in this pyramid form only. Understanding where your limit sits on this pyramid and deliberately moving it upward. When we start our profession or when we start our practice, it starts from the lowest of the pyramid and we have to move upward. And this is the essence of high impact patience management, practice management. When we reach at the top of the pyramid, then only we will realize, or we can say that we are successful professional. So if you can see at the level 1, the activities are very basic. Emails, calls, meetings, admin tasks. And a lot of time gets engaged in these only. Writing long emails, replying to those emails, attending long calls, client taking suggestions on the call, or we calling up the clients for getting the work done, or holding meetings which can be beneficial, which may not be beneficial, but still the time is that much only. After so many meetings, sometimes we feel that we wasted that time. So it is a level 1 activity. It's an admin task, which does not require a chartered accountant to work. Over the period of time, when we get little from ACA to FCA or little older or experience, we move to level 2 output. The level 2 output is return filed, reports completed, representation prepared, client delivered. Our focus is more about these things. Slowly and slowly, we get to that point. We work. We ourselves are working on this thing. We are preparing reports. We are filing the returns, trying to impress the client, and we will say, but our aim is level 3, that is impact. And how that impact will be created? Client trust your advice deeply. Teams become capable and autonomous. Practice becomes scalable and sustainable. Team become capable and autonomous. Means The earlier the emails, calling, meetings, etc. that we used to do ourselves, now it is being getting automated. We have developed a team over the period of time. The team who will do or assist me in doing the work which earlier I used to do. I don't need to worry about if I am stuck up somewhere or I am on a holiday or something like that. My team, my office will get stopped or my work will get hampered or my client will not be able to be served better way. But I know over the period of time I have developed a team. The team who is doing or working for me now, so that I can spend that time now to for my own personal well-being or my personal growth or even for the professional growth, meeting out for the new things and everything. Similarly, I will be able to concentrate or give more trustful advice to the client, and the client will mind it. Client will believe it. Reason being, because not client is getting something additional from my services. I am becoming his asset rather than cost point. I am becoming his revenue point, revenue center. But till level 1 or level 2, what I am is cost center. So my practice, my scenario, my schedule should be such that it keeps on increasing in the manner that it leads to level 3. And that is very much important. Most professionals spend the majority of their time at level 1. The most valuable professionals, the ones who build lasting practice, spend deliberate time at level 3. So that is the difference between professional and valuable professionals. Once we get the chartered accountancy degree or once we become a practicing chartered accountant, we all are professionals. But transforming ourselves from just a professional to a valuable professional requires to work on level 3. And as a shape of the pyramid, why it is said to be a pyramid? It signifies something additional, that is move up, not just forward. Because when you move forward, you move in a horizontal manner. But if you want to see the sky, touch the sky, or be at the top, you need to move upward. That is vertical. It's working smarter. And the 3 core practice for that is time blocking, energy management, and strategic delegation. You need to divide your day into 3 distinct zones. And it's very scientific division. When we start the day, we are at the peak of our attention, peak of our output, peak of our productivity, full of energy, deep work, complex analysis, drafting, strategic thinking. At that time, we are at the top of our productivity. And that's the time when we need to do complex work. Then after the time, it's our attention, this thing starts slowly and slowly reducing. And that's client hours, doing meetings, call, advice. Because at that time, we are delivering. We are meeting. We are trying to regain our energy. And then at the end of the day is a team hours. Doing review, what has been done in the day or over the week or like that. Mentoring, telling the team how to do the thing, mentor them, hearing their problem, trying to solve it, finding out the solutions to issues, inter-office managements, and delegation for the next one. And we need to judiciously follow this time blocking if we want to work smarter. Then there is the energy management. Just as I told, identify your peak performance window. And for the most professional, it is the first 3 to 4 hours of the day. As I said, the moment you come to your office, it's the initial hours in which you do the maximum of the work, and that is the productive work. And reserve this window exclusively for your highest concentration, highest stakes work. And don't waste it just to replying the emails or sending the emails, because that will be done in the next part, client hours. Or that can also be done by your team. So whenever you go to the office, or keep your schedule in such a manner that the toughest of the thing or the toughest of the decision that you need to make has to be in the first those 3 to 4 hours, because at that time your mind is clear, your mind is less distracted, your brain is not fatigued, so it can think independently and holistically. Then there is a strategic delegation. Strategic delegation means not every work has to be done or every work has to be accepted. Just because it is coming to you does not mean you need to grab it or you need to jump on it. First, assess it. Ask honestly, is this genuinely worthy of my expertise and billing rate? Am I required to do it? Or am I the one only who can do it? If not, it belongs to someone else on your team. And the moment you delegate to your team, the work will still be done, and you also have a good time to focus on something more important. Delegation is not laziness, it's leadership. Because by doing it, you are serving dual purpose. First, developing a team, developing your bench strength, and conserving the time that you was required to spend on that less expertise work by doing something more important, and by doing or utilizing that time for a more meaningful outcome. So being busy is not proof of being effective. A cluttered a sign of importance. It is often a sign of unclear priorities. Unclear priorities. And as a chartered accountant, as a thorough professional, we should learn to prioritize. Prioritize our work, prioritize our time, prioritize our systems. That is the core thing that we need to learn. Moving on to personal time is a professional investment. It's an intangible professional investment. In a CA community, personal time carries an uncomfortable connotation. If we sometimes say na ki we are having a personal time, we feel that the other person will mock us or feel funny about us, that how as a professional we can have a personal. So it gives us self-guilt. Otherwise, it is not there. But our upbringing or our training or everything has made us in such a way that we feel uncomfortable when we say that we require personal time. It is seen as indulgence, something earned only after the work is done, the deadlines are met, the clients are satisfied. We always put a limit to some or a line to this thing. If I do this, then I will be able to do the personal time. But that line never comes. It's an illusion. It's a hallucination. Because when we reach that line, it gets further. Something else creep up. Something else thing. And we keep on trying to look at that or reach that line, but is never being able to. It is treated as a reward, never as a resource. But personal time is not a reward. It's a resource to help me to recon, to rework, to get ready for something important. Have you seen some of the most successful cricketers? Just take an example of Virat Kohli. We mock him or we say bad thing about him that whenever there is a busy schedule, he takes a break or he moves out or this. But that is not, that's his personal time, which gives him energy and help him to focus more on when it's a tough matches. Same thing goes with our professionals also. Earlier, the story used to be personal time equal to luxury. We considered it luxury. If we can get a personal time, that means we are very much successful. It's a luxury to us. Something you deserve only after enough. So because as we go strategically, luxury always comes after enough. First we go for the enough. But the point is, have we made it a luxury? Yes. Personal time was never a luxury. It was a necessity. Or it is a necessity. Because the work is never enough. It will keep on moving, increasing. So when will you enjoy the luxury? Now we have to focus or shift from our thinking from old story to a new reality. And the new reality is personal time equal to investment. It's the investment in ourselves, investment in our thoughts, investment in our forward looking, our vision, the resource that restrains your capacity for professional excellence over the long arc of career. It's help us to work long, but meaningful. It gives us that required break or that required pump up, which is very much important if we want to go on. We all must have watched the movie Mission Mangal. In that, the stage comes when they have to decide that they can't carry a lot of fuel in a rocket launcher. They have the limited amount of fuel. So what they do? They used a good scientific technique. The technique that you switch off the engine for some time and then restart it. And when will you restart it, its force or its speed will be more and it will be able to go on a long. And that's what exactly is our personal time. That switching off the engine. Because after switching off, when we restart it, that push it will get will help us to live long. That is the new reality. As a chartered accountant, we always talk about capitals. So it's a 4 capitals framework that we need to look at. And what are those 4 capitals? Finance capital, financial capital, intellectual capital, social capital, and personal capital. We focus more on only financial capital. And what is the financial capital? We all understand this thing. Income, fees, assets, financial security. The capital we measure most carefully. The day we were born or the day we started our practice, we only looks at numbers. How much revenue, how much fees, how much asset we created. What is the financial security we are having? We keep on running after this financial capital only or building this financial capital. And this is and this is called what is called as tangible capital. But we have moved over the time in a generations where it's time to identify the intangible capitals. The first in that is intellectual capital, knowledge, technical skills, professional expertise, and continuous learning. How will all these come? We'll keep on running after financial capital. When we will get the time to attain the knowledge, when we will get a time to hone our skills, when we will get a time to do the professional, get more expertise in the professional scenario. And if we are not able to do that, how that intellectual capital will be built? With the coming of AI, we also understand that slowly and slowly, most of the financial capital scenarios are already being taken over by the automated world. So in order to sustain in this type of world, in this type of environment, we need to have an intellectual capital. Because whatever will be done, AI or non-AI or whatever it is, there will always be a HI, that is human intelligence. And that human intelligence will always be a step ahead of artificial intelligence. But that human intelligence can only be built through intellectual capital or through other systems. Then there comes a social capital, relationship, professional network, client, trust, and community standing. During our professional journey, somewhere or the other, there we build social capital. But there are relationships, professional networks, client trust, and community standing that we need. If we consider client only as a source of financial capital, it will be a short-term relation with the client. But if we consider the client as a social capital, it will lead to a long client relationship or a long journey with that client. It will create more of a professional network. It will give me more trust with the client. Even if I falter or if I miss out on certain things during our work with the client, he still knows that it is not intentional and I am the best for him. My community standing. There are two types of respect that we get as a chartered accountant. The first one is by my name or my those initials, CA. Whenever I take a session with the students, I always ask them why you opted for this course. And 70 to 80% of them give a common answer is the respect it carries. But that respect of CA in front of my name is only one part of that respect or community standing. It's my give back or return back to the community, which actually makes my community standing. You must have seen that out means in any of your cities that you are living or practicing, there may be other chartered accountants also, but all of them don't have a same other than professional standing or other than professional respect in the society that some of them we have. So that is community standing, social capital, my work toward the society, in the contribution to the society, in whatever other form other than professional. That is important, that I need to build. Because my name will be remembered after my death only by my those non-financial contribution to the society that is required. My personal capital, fourth and not the last, physical health, mental energy, emotional resilience, and psychological well-being. There is nothing more than the health. A genius mind can only live in a healthy body. If I am not physically healthy, it will not give me healthy mind. And it's vice versa also. So if any of it gets unhealthy, it is going to affect the overall functioning of my ecosystem. The hard times will come in the life. At that time, how you carry yourself because of your mental energy or emotional resilience, that will help you. But if I have not invested in that personal capital, I have not tried to increase that personal capital, how will I am going to get gain from that return from that capital? I have to create it just like any other capital, just like any financial capital. I need to create a personal capital also. And that's where the catch is. We keep on spending time, energy, resources on creating financial capital, but we miss out on intellectual, social, and personal capital, which are very much important and the bigger pillar of my existence as a professional, as a human being. So the critical question is, if your personal capital collapses completely, if your health fails, your energy depletes, your mental resilience fractures, can the other three capital truly sustain themselves? No. We as a professionals are not made or followed by financial aspect only. After means a chartered accountant, if he dies or she dies, the CA ends there itself. Even if your son or a daughter or any of your child or your spouse is also a chartered accountant, he or she can continue the firm legacy. But your legacy as an individual has ended with your death. So if I am not having a personal capital, the other three capitals are of no use. But this is the part, personal capital is the part which is the at the last of the priorities, whereas it should have been the first of our priorities, because the flow starts from there itself. Without this, nothing will sustain. We ignore personal investment, and this is not a character flaw. It's professional conditioning absorbed over years of training, articleship, cultural norms with the profession. When we were doing the articleship, what we used to be told or by our seniors of this, you need to only focus on work. You need to work hard because CA is very tough. You have been made a tough professional. It's a hardcore professional world. And our articleship and training is designed in such a manner that we are made to become a hardcore professional. But over the period of time, even the articleship, even the institute have understood this thing. And that is one of the reasons why some of the student activities have started coming up. Student seminars, student workshops, student cultural events, student sports events. That is because they don't just want the CA students to become a board professionals, but they want them to be a smart professional. So as we go on this system, self last, personal health, rest, renewal, consistency deferred. I will take care of myself once things go slow down, and they never. one thing or the other keep on coming up. And we keep on prolonging our health issue, our rest issue, or any other thing. And the day comes when we even don't know, we don't even get a chance to go to the hospital. Many of the news we would have heard in the latest time, a person or a very young professional don't wake up in the morning. Or while driving, get collapsed. While sitting in the office, get collapsed. That is because we never heard our body. We never heard our inner self. We never saw what is happening inside, but we always thought about what we have to do outside. After self, we start ignoring family, spouse, children, aging parents. They receive what is left over after the profession has taken its fill. And profession has already taken a lot of it. We always take them for granted. We always believe that they will understand. They do. But when slowly and slowly this understanding start becoming to the point that you become non-existent for them. They stop sharing with you. They stop laughing with you. They also start taking you for granted. And the day you realize this, you are the most broken person, because now you are not wanted, because when you were needed, you were not there. So they have made their own ecosystem. They have realized, or they have started believing that you are just for some particular purpose and not the part of their life. The sooner we realize this thing, or sooner we become this thing, or mend our ways to become the integral part of their ecosystem, it will be better for us. Then we move towards deadlines first. Compliance, calendar, filing dates, client deliverables become most organizing principle of all time. More of the focus is on deadlines. And with that follows clients always. In business, there is a so-called law that customer is God. ग्राहक खुदा है. ग्राहक भगवान. Yes, they are, but not the master of us. For our profession, but not us. Sitting on a dinner table, if the client calls, we immediately stop eating. We immediately stop the part of the group, family group, and pops up on the phone and in order to reply, as if we don't reply at that time, the client will move away. If the client don't understand our personal time, that means that client is not worthy enough to be worked on. You are watching a movie with your family and the client calls up or message you, and you immediately start interacting with him without telling him that you are at present busy somewhere with your family and needs to and will catch up after that sometime. It's not about ignoring the clients, but it's about telling them or making them understand that you also have your me time. Making them understand that just like them, just like their holidays, their outing, their family time, you also need to have your own time. Most of us will relate with this thing that when it's the closing time of our office, some of the clients comes up and says कि सर अपनी दुकान बंद की तो सोता आपसे मिलते चले. If you have a closing time of your shop or your office, how do you expect us to be available all 24/7? But the point is, we don't make the client understand this thing. We are afraid. We feel guilty that we ignored the client. No, you didn't ignore him. It's peer to peer. If he has the right to enjoy his time, so you do. So this 1, 2, 3, 4 system has to be on a reverse side. Yes, clients has to be always, but not at their own wish or will. It's as per my client. That at at that time only I can say कि I have professionally developed myself or professionally made ourselves so much successful that the client has to wait for my. And this is not by creating something unnecessary ego or system, but it has to be through practice, by understanding, by making the client understand that it's not, I am not always available. Not making oneself always available is not equal to creating a unnecessary aura of yourself by not taking the calls or this thing, by avoiding the calls or creating unnecessary situation or idea that you are too busy. No, you have to make him understand that all time it's not your time. So we have to work on a reverse form, make ourselves the most of the priority. If I need time for myself or I need something where I have to be worked upon, it should be the biggest priority of my life, along with my family. Rest all can wait or can. We need to learn about recovery. And the neuroscience of rest says decades of continued research with this is simply pause during recovery time. Brain does not simply pause. It actively consolidates learning, process complexes, problem, and rebuild the neural resources required for high quality judgment. If we think that when we rest or sleep, our brain sleeps, no, it's not sleeping. It's rebuilding, re-energizing itself. It's creating its own source again. Rest is not the absence of productivity, but biological prerequisite for it. It's not that by taking the rest, your productivity will stop. No, by taking the rest, you are refueling the productivity. So recovery directly improves creativity and innovation, complex problem solving, emotional regulation, and decision quality. And this is what is actually required from us. So take rest as a recovery process, not as a top process. Rest is required for you to deliver the best quality. So the 4 dimensions of personal capital that we are talking about is physical health, mental health, relationships, hobbies and joys. And we need to focus on this. The rest will follow. All remaining capitals will follow if we are able to focus and manage these 4 dimensions in a perfect manner. Physical health, regular exercise, consistent sleep, and preventive health care. Preventive health care, please note. Prevention is better than cure. This we have been learning or hearing from since ages. Preventive health care, regular checkups will help you to monitor yourself in a much better way. Our body is a machine that runs your practice. Maintain it proactively, not just in crisis. There is no alternative to your individual body, not even your laptop, not your high value AI models or any of the systems or machinery or any other intelligence, but it's you and you who is the master of your profession as an individual. Your mental health, daily reflections, mindfulness practice, and without stigma. Don't think or don't stigmatize yourself for a mental break that you take. A sharp mind requires intentional maintenance. Even top of the automobile, top of the machinery require maintenance time. That's the reason the factories or any of the automated system, they also have 1 day or some time in between which is set to a maintenance time, because by that only they will be able to keep the machine running for a longer time. The relationships, family dinners, meaningful conversations, maintained friendships, these are not distraction from your life, but they are your life. Ultimately, for whom we are earning, whom we are working so hard. It's not just us, but all those people who are connected with us. And we have to make them our life, not the work our life. How many of us have certain hobbies at the time of our young ages and now have completely forgotten those? Most of us must be cricketers, most of us must be other sports person or a singer, dancer, musicians, stand-up comedians, everything. But after becoming a chartered accountant, after joining the profession, how many of us were able to pursue those hobbies, were able to enjoy those hobbies? It slowly and slowly started going into the back end of our mind. But those are the things that keep us young and energized every time. So never leave your hobbies, enjoy them, even if when you are at the peak of your professional success. So there has to be a 30-30-30 rule, 90 minutes, equally divided across the essential domains. 30 minutes movement, walk, exercise, yoga, or any form of physical activity. This is not optional. It is a foundation of sustained cognitive performance. During the day, at least do 30-minute movement in whatever form it suits you or what form you are comfortable. 30 minutes learning. Spend at least 30 minutes in reading a podcast, a professional article, or something which is going to increase your intellect, which is going to make you more thought provoking, which is going to add something to your knowledge. And it is outside the current client work. Something non-fictional, something even fictional, whatever suits you, but you have to read. Your mind has to go somewhere else. 30-minute connection, meaningful time with family, a friend, or own inner world through journaling or quiet reflection. Every one of us has one or the two good friends. Spend time with them. Even if they are from your own profession, don't talk profession with them at those 30 minutes. Spend time with your children, with your family, with your wife, with your parents. It has to be something which is in where you are yourself, not a chartered accountant, not a professional, not a boss or anything else. It's you as a human being. So rest is not absence of productivity. It is preparation for it. The investment that makes tomorrow's work possible. If I'm not able to get up in the morning for what I have prepared today, my today's should be the stepping stone for tomorrow. And that can only be done if after working for today, I take a necessary rest to again get the same output or productivity tomorrow. Success should include life satisfaction. Success is not only about the financial capital as we talked about. It's life satisfaction, and it should be the integral part of the success. The profession has well-established script for success. Build a bigger practice, attract more clients, generate higher revenue, earn better. That is all financial part. Please note it. These are worthy goals, but they are incomplete ones. Even after so many things, good practice, good client, good higher revenue, I am not satisfied in my life. I am not enjoying that success. Then how can we say it a success? If we can't enjoy it, then it's not a success. With bigger practice, more client, more complexity, more responsibility, we get also more of your life consumed. It consumes maximum of your life when we focus more on a bigger practice. Growing big is not bad. It's not at all the bad thing, because the moment we stop growing, it will be full stop on us. But at what cost? We have to see that. Higher revenue, financial success achieved, but at what cost of health, relationship, personal purpose? Have we seen the cost of that financial success? Because it never comes into our P&L account. It never comes through in our income expenditure account. But somewhere down the line, it hits us badly and very badly. Greater recognition, respected by peers. In my peer circle, I am considered to be one of the most respectable professional, but perhaps unknown to your own children at dinner table. If I am not sharing my this respect or success with my children or my parents or my spouse, there is no fun of it, because then it's a outer world success or a recognition. What about inner recognition? If my children don't know what I have achieved in the society or otherwise, achievement does not only comes with the financial aspect, but otherwise also, then there is no fun of achieving those success. After achieving all these milestones, what actually remains? What does the life look like outside the office walls? We have to see that. If I am successful outside the office walls also, other than these three aspects, financial aspect, then I can say, yes, I am on the path of success with achieving of life satisfaction also. The wheel of life goes way: career, practice, family, health, relationship, personal growth, community contribution, recreation, and spiral, spiritual well-being. It's a round, round, round. But even if a single part of this stops or malfunction, the whole of the wheel gets stuck up. Single of this thing. If my health is not good, how will the wheel move? If my relationships are not good, how am I going to deliver mentally? If I am not growing personally, how it's ultimately going to be the spiritual well-being or career practice? So it's every element of the wheel is contributing to the spinning of the wheel. And even if the single point, if any of these elements get stuck, the wheel holds. And the moment wheel gets hold, other parts follow. As you can see that most CAs score very high on career, only one aspect, and surprisingly low everywhere else. The exercise is confronting. It is also clarifying. Where does your wheel need more investment? It's you who have to decide. It's you who have to see that the wheel doesn't stop. It keep on spinning, but it will spin only and only when each of this aspect will work. Now think about this. Close your eyes and imagine yourself at age 70. When you are not physically or otherwise able to work that many hours that you are working now. And you are looking back across the full arc of your professional life. What would you regret? Would you regret those missed client meetings, those missed deadlines, or would you regret your child's school play, your child annual activity, your parents' time, your parents' well-being, your spouse love, the places you never visited during those busy hours when you never took a holiday? At 70, you will miss these. You will regret these because clients were not going to be there when you were at 70. Research on end of life reflection consistently finds that people regret the personal moments missed. Always, almost, never the professional ones. Because you will not even remember those deadlines missed, those missed clients meeting. But you will always remember these missings or your personal friend. There is a arrival fallacy. What is that? I will be happy when this busy season ends. I will be happy when revenue doubles. I will be happy when partnership happens. I will be happy when. That means my happiness depends on arrival of something. The persistent belief that a future milestone will finally deliver lasting happiness and satisfaction. But future never comes. Tomorrow never comes. I have to make maximum out of today, now. It's a treadmill effect. Each time a goal is achieved, the goalpost shift. That satisfaction is brief. After reaching a point, there is another goal waiting. So when I will be happy? The cost, years, sometimes decades of genuine life and effort in pursuit of destination that keeps moving. In Hindi, there is a word Mrik Trishna. I'm always running behind something which is illusioned, which is within myself itself, but I never understood it. At the cost that I'm spending. Health neglected, joy indefinitely postponed. That is the cost in achieving those goals that we are running behind. And what is the alternative? Build satisfaction into the journey itself. Enjoy the journey. That's a common phrase that we always say that. Rather than enjoying the destination, you need to enjoy the journey that will make the trip or that journey more beautiful. Find meaning in today's work, today's relationship, today's choices, not only in imagined future arrival. When they will come, enjoy them. But at the cost of today's benefit, today's satisfaction, don't ignore, don't run after the futures, which is, as it's always said, one in hand is better than two in the bush. So that unachievable or unreached destination, arrival fallacy is the same two in the bush. What I have is today, one in the hand that I need to enjoy. The new success equation should be achievement, alignment, and fulfillment. Professional milestones should be achieved, client impact, revenue growth, and recognition, aligned with living and working in accordance with your deepest values, so that professional success and personal integrity reinforce rather than contradict each other. They should not be contradictory. They should be aligned. Ultimately leading to the fulfillment. Fulfillment of genuine sense of meaning, satisfaction, and wholeness. Not just across your career, but across your entire life. So when you align your achievement, professional milestone along with your personal life or personal investment, it ultimately gives you a fulfillment. So achievement plus alignment plus fulfillment is sustainable success. And that should be our game. That should be our goal. Sustainable success, not only the success. So remove any one of these three, your sustainability goes. And that can never be said to be the whole success. The successful but unhappy professional. We don't want to be like this. I don't know my children anymore, my wife, and I are strangers. I don't know what I enjoy outside of work. So is that a success? Sitting alone at the end without anyone to take care of, or without anyone to be taken care by, or without being loved by anyone. Is this the success we want? Never. What was built? Respected practice, significant revenue, professional recognition. But more than that, what was lost? Connected relationship, identity beyond work, and presence in one's own life. What we built was tangible, but what we lost was important, intangible part. And there is the basic difference between being a successful and sustainable successful. We need to be an integrated professional. Strong practice, build on system, delegation, and value-based work. Not heroic and unlimited. मैं सब कुछ कर लूंगा. I am not a Herculean. I don't need to carry the pressure of the world upon my shoulders. I need to delegate. I need to build a team. I need to divide it so that I can have my time. I need to healthy relationship, a marriage sustained by presence. Children who knew their parents as a person, not just a provider. Please note it. You should be known to your children as a person, not just someone who are fulfilling their tangible needs. They need your emotional support more than your financial support. My personal purpose, a clear sense of what she was building and why professionally and personally. I have come to this world not just to earn, but to contribute to an overall society and my existence in this world. What actually brings life satisfaction is one of the longest running studies on human happiness by Howard says the findings were consistent and unambiguous. And what is that? Quality of close relationship, not income, not fame, not professional status. That is the thing we are working. And the key drivers for the same are meaningful relationship, sense of purpose, contribution to others, and good health. And this finding was done over hundreds of individuals, not only for but over more than 80 years. And after that, they reached a person who reached, means by studying a human being for 80 years, they found out that what the person at the end of those 80 years was, that they cherished these things, not the financial. A successful career is one chapter of successful life, not the entire book. But what we are illusioned is that if we have a successful career, that is a successful life. No, it's actually just a part or a mean to a successful life. Balance requires conscious planning. And for that, we need to dismantle the biggest myth. And that biggest myth about work-life balance is that it arrives naturally. No, it never arrives naturally. We have to do it. We have to do the balancing. Naturally will always be what will happen naturally is that the work will keep on increasing. It will never reduce. And the life will keep on reducing. That is the natural thing. So ultimately, balancing can never be naturally. We have to make it. So the truth is, balance does not happen automatically. It does not emerge organically. It is designed, and the designing has to be done by none other than us, ourselves. deliberately, consciously, and repeatedly. Life happens in calendars. There is a simple but profound truth about the modern professional life. What is not scheduled does not happen. So if it is not the part of the schedule, it never happens. Intentions without appointments remain wishes. So if you intend something, it needs appointments and it requires your workings to be done. Same way, the balancing has to be done by yourself. And some of the non-negotiable work that should be the part of your calendar, life calendar, is health appointments, family commitments, and personal reflections. If you are missing out on these things, you are not going to sustain for a longer run. And we have to do the planning of our professional calendar. And how do we do it? We always do the planning of the professional calendar actually. Our client excellence, compliance deadline, team development, continuous learning. We concentrate on this thing. This is a professional calendar. We spend most of the time and energy on developing the professional calendar and avoid the personal calendar. It's not that everything that feels urgent is truly important. We have to prioritize the things. Our year has to be with life first. Most professionals fill their calendar with professional commitment first, then try to fit personal. They try to fit personal life into the remaining. It should never be fitting of it, but it should basically start from the personal life within. That's why when you look at the future ahead or a year ahead, first block the personal part. Plan your vacation, plan your holiday, plan your family time, plan your dinners, plan your family events, your social events, your personal events, and map them with the calendars of the professional calendar. If you will plan it in this way, you will never have to put in extra effort for either of these things, either of the professional timings or professional and of the personal, because you have already blocked it in such a manner that they will come automatically when they are with there. And every weekly planning has to be done each Sunday or Monday morning before the week begins. Spend 15 intentional minutes asking and honestly answering the questions. What are the questions? What must I achieve this week? I have to do it week by week, not whole of the year. When I start the week, my aim should be what is the outcome I require from this week? Question 2. Who deserves my attention this week? Is it a client, my family, my friend, my parents, my children, or who? And if other than client, any of the things are to be at my priority, that has to be my priority. Come what may. What will renew my energy this week? I have to make it a point. What will help me re-energize myself? What will make me more energized in this week if I do that? And if I get the answer for that, I definitely should do it, because that will help me to regain myself for the next week working. It has to be week by week, ball by ball. The art of saying not now. This is the weakest thing we CAs are. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. This is the quote by legendary Warren Buffett. We as a CAs, as a professional, fear the most saying no, or even the gentler not now. We feel कि if we will say no or not now, that will take the client away. No, if that client can't understand your priority, then that client is not even worth for spending the time. What yes to everything really cost? Every unfiltered yes is a silent no to something else. It's opportunity cost, as I said. Often to your health, your family, your deepest work, or your personal recovery time. Because that is only the who are going to compromise when you will say yes to everything. Because otherwise, every professional work is being done. Now, whatever yes you are saying to everything is going to cut upon your me time. Now, how to say no, not now professionally? We don't need to give explanations. We just need to firmly say saying that this is not my priority at present. It can wait for the other time. I have to decide when I have to do which work. If anyone else is dictating me or telling me which to do which work at what time, then how can I say that I am the master of my own profession? That means otherwise, then we are doing the job. We are doing work for someone else, not for ourselves. Then we are not the practicing chartered accountants. If I can't take decision of myself when to do what, then I am not the master but a servant of some. The 3T decision framework is do high value work requiring expertise, complex analysis, strategic advice, delegate the task other can perform competently, routine, correspondence, standard, and delete activities adding no genuine value. Unnecessary meetings, low priority requests, resulting outings. Most professionals discover that surprisingly large proportion of their daily activities falls into delegate or delete category. But we spend most of the time on these two categories. And there we falter and miss out on the important lifetimes. During peak season is the toughest thing. It is a realistic acknowledgement actually. The honest truth that we need to understand during some of the time it is a 70 hours week. Some season will consume evenings and weekends also. But it's not the question that how do I avoid, because they can't be avoided actually. The question is how do I recover well when they pass? Because that's the part and parcel of our profession, that a part and parcel of our work. But the more important is how do I recover when this period goes? It should not be in a manner that I should first plan for the recovery and that get because when I plan for that recovery, I know that even if I put in extra efforts now, I have that plan, recovery plan afterward, which will help me to get out. We plan our recovery period before the intense season begins, not as an afterthought when you are already depleted. Your recovery plan should always be the first hand that you should have. After finishing off this deadline, I need to go on a vacation or a short trip or something like that, or I'll go for a small off period, or I will be learning this thing, I will be doing this thing. I should be ready with that plan. Life is actually a garden. Have we ever seen the watering of a garden? If we keep on watering a particular point of a garden only without giving water to other parts, that the part we are only watering, it will become a mud. Rather, the plants or the plants which are all at that place will start dying. It will never flourish. The whole garden needs tending, not equally single day, but alternatively across the season. It's not required that every single day each part gets the same part of water, but at least across the season, every part should get the same attention. Same is our life. It's not that the only single part of work has to be taken care of. It's the personal life also, personal part also that need to be. So you do not find balance, you build it. Balance is never automatic. You have to make it. Even if you are driving a cycle or anything, you need to balance yourself. Cycle will not balance it itself. That's the point. So the four commitments that we need to make while coming up at the end of this session are measure outcomes, not ours. I need to do this commitment that I will evaluate my professional days by the quality and impact of what I created and not by how much hour I spent on at my desk. I need to protect personal times as investment, personal investment. That should be my second commitment. I will treat my health, my relationship, my personal renewals as non-negotiable professional investment, not as optional rewards. Non-negotiable professional investment. There is no alternative to it. It is not a optional thing. It is the must thing. That should be my second commitment. My third commitment should be redefining success broadly. Don't limit the success to the financial success only. Not by just practice milestone, but by the quality of my relationship, my health, my personal growth, and my contribution. Contribution to the society, to the family, to otherwise. That should be my success motto. That should be my success parameter. And the fourth commitment of me should be consciously designing my life. I have to design my life, not the time, not anyone else. I have to the creator of my canvas. I have to design and color my own picture. I have to make the efforts to do the balancing. Without my efforts and doing it consistently and judicially will not serve the purpose because nothing is going to be automatic. It will not happen by accident. It has to be consciously and judicially designed, and by myself only, no one else will do it. So these four commitments have to be made by us if we want to live a sustainable, successful life. As a final idea, I would like to bring a point, a life that is not postponed. The profession needs competent chartered accountant. Profession needs competent chartered accountant, but families need present spouses. Children need engaged parents. Communities need compassionate leaders. And each of us, mind it, each of us, every single one of us deserves a life that is not indefinitely postponed. जिंदगी के सफर में गुजर जाते हैं जो मकाम वो फिर नहीं आते. So don't let the small points in your life pass on without you being part of those moments. You chose a demanding profession, that's true, because CA is a demanding profession. But you served your clients with dedication, your team with commitment, and your profession with integrity. That matters enormously. But you are more than your practice, more than your billing rate, more than your compliance calendar. You are a spouse, you are a parent, a child, a human being with a life of unique. That's the thing we need to achieve. Irreplaceable, irreplaceable value. Many of may your billable hours reflect your expertise, but may your life's worth be measured by much more than that. That should be our ultimate aim and success mantra. So friends, thank you very much. And I hope that we will give a thoughtful thought to this thing, that we need to build a life, not just a career, and a life worth living. Thank you very much. And I sincerely thanks the tech support for their support over all this webinar. And with this thing, I end my deliberation. Thank you very much. Yeah, please. Thank you.